What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Jake Shavink here, and it hasn't been the start we wanted to see for Jaxon Smith-Njigba in Seattle. Just 12 catches for 62 yards, just over 5 yards per reception to this point. But I don't think you should be concerned just yet. End of season, maybe we'll talk, but it's only been 4 games, and in this film room, we're going to talk about a lot about the average depth of target, and then we're going to get into some good and bad of what's on film. But let's start with the average depth of target. 3 yards he's averaging. Average depth of target right now. And why is that? Well, obviously, it's because he's getting a lot of short routes, right? Seattle isn't giving him a lot of the go routes, the dig routes, right? Against the Rams, you see it here running into the flat. They're giving him the ball on tunnel screens, right? They're trying to maximize his yards after the catch ability, which he has in spades, right? Running a drag route, picks up a first down here. Like, he's doing some things that are really good. But if this is all he's going to get, like a true smoke route here, with the defense kind of squatting and looking for it, we're not going to be as productive as we want to be. And then you see him, getting more tunnel screens. We see that in Detroit in the Carolina games, right? The Seattle game, he's getting thrown out there into an RPO bubble screen look. And again, they're middling results, right? There's good, there's bad on the tunnel screens. That's fine. But again, they're giving him the quick out stuff where he's, able to tightrope the sideline. He does it very well. And he's also getting looks in some things that you may see tight ends more often than not, in a little sneak route there against the Lions. And then, for speedier receivers, some of this orbit motion that he had against the Giants, right? And I think the other thing to put in your mind here is that Smith-Njigba, we thought, was going to get a lot of the digs, the middle field routes, but you see guys like DK Metcalf doing a real good job and improving their skills within breaking routes over the middle of the field, as you saw there. So there's a lot to unpack within this offense, right? Seattle's obviously in a lot of 12. They're in some 21. Like, there are times where it's just Metcalf and Lockett at receiver as well. But now let's go into the film room, dive a little deeper into what we've seen for JSN to this point. All right, guys, here we go. Now for the deep dive into JSN's film through 4 weeks. There are things to like, and I think there are things that Seattle's working into the playbook, if you see it here, that are going to give him more targets to the middle of the field, further down the field. I think we're going to get there, and there should be some positivity to that. And it starts with this one here, where you're going to get Tyler Lockett working straight up the middle, almost cutting it in half on this go, and Smith-Njigba is going to work on this dig route to the middle of the field, and you're going to see that, right? Pause there. This is good. We like this. This is stuff where if Geno's not getting pressured and having to dump this to Kenneth Walker really quickly, it's stuff that is going to open up this part of the field for Smith-Njigba more. He'll be able to take advantage after the catch, right? I think that's something that you should be expecting, right? And just we'll get there, right? And routes like this, where he's in the slot, we're in 11. This is exactly where you want JSN. Stuff like this, right? It's press up vertically, turn your head to the outside, and then, of course, win the dig route with enough separation where Geno can throw this ball. If he's got enough time and he's patient enough, if he can throw it to space and let you, work into it and create after the catch. That's there, right? Stuff like that will be there. Same with this, right? You get Lockett in pretty much man coverage here, occupying branch, right? Linebackers are back here. It's just you in the corner out here, right, for Smith-Njigba. And it's just, okay, stem at him, right, and then open up to the field when he starts to pedal and work to his deep zone. So this kind of stuff is going to open up in the middle of the field, and he's going to get targets doing so, right? And then there's this. There's the short area quicks, right? Little outside leveraged corner, right? Sell inside, get him to turn, sink the hips as well as you can. Look at him drop the weight. And then work on short routes like that to the outside. Again, is that going to increase the aDOT? No, of course not. But he's going to be able to win on those routes as well because he's agile and extremely quick in the short area. And things like this are going to be there too when you're going to catch defenses in looks where safety is occupied by this tight end here, and Smith-Njigba stem, work, and have enough speed to catch a guy off guard and win to the back of the end zone like he does right there. He's also savvy. Don't forget about that, right? We're looking at basically here, he's pressing again, pressing vertically, gets this release off the line. We'll back it up just a little bit for you. And you'll see right here, okay, square up, press vertically against Brian Branch. Brian Branch, good player, right? We know this. Branch undercuts the route. What does Smith-Njigba do? Again, it's a good undercut. It's a good play. Yeah, just stop. Just stop in the middle of the field, right? Work to the space for a guy who's trying to undercut your route. And now you've got space to work with. Now Geno gets pressured, right? Everything's thrown off, timing's thrown off. Everybody else is covered. Smith-Njigba is going to be the quarterback's best friend on a play like this, where he's, okay, I realize Branch has undercut it, right? I'm not getting thrown the ball, right? I'm not going to hang my quarterback out to dry. I'm not going to win something. I have worked to space and potentially gotten, a big play out of it if, Geno isn't pressured. And a lot of that is coming from, right, tackles that are getting shuffled in with Cross and Lucas out. And that's part of the equation as well. So here, similar thing, right? It's, okay, press vertically. And then at the top of the route versus contact, we do a little bit of extension, right? We make this difficult for this corner down here. Little extension, right? Push off, commit OPI, create the separation that we have right here. Gives the quarterback a window if he can throw with anticipation. It's there. Stuff like this is there on film. We're going to do it again, right? This is a very simple route. Win the slant. Can you win the slant? Cornerback's a little more favoring outside leverage, so it's going to be easier to win it. But you square up, you plant, and you explode. And we've got ourselves a win here over the middle if Geno wants to throw this ball. He doesn't, but we've got it. It is there. Again, what else can you do? Be a quarterback's best friend, right? I don't know what he's doing here. I'm not really sure. We're getting into play action, right? We got some DK kind of trailing the tight end. But now it's just, okay, work to space. Give Geno a place to throw it to, right? And again, this isn't a big play, but sometimes the little things are very important. Just like this, again, helping the QB out, right? Geno's under pressure already. Hutchinson's a beast. We know that. He's flushing out of the pocket. He gets flushed out. He's found the escape hatch. He's going to take it. Smith-Njigba sees it, says, all right, perfect. Retrace my steps. I'll work with you, and I'll help you create a big play. Does that really well. Now, there are things that he has to clean up to continue getting looks from Geno and continue to build that trust, right? This is one of them, right? It's a simple out route, right? It's stick. This is stick, a little bit of trap coverage. Corner comes off as the throw is being made, but you got to secure this, right? This is a bad drop. This is something we got to have. And Smith-Njigba was sure-handed, so I don't expect this to happen a lot, but we've seen it now twice. Here's another. Drops this one from Drew Lock on Monday night. We can't have this. We have to make sure we're securing the football, right? This is in range. You got to be able to make this one happen. It's not as easy, but you got to make those plays. This is a big one too. And, right, you see JSN get these targets. I'm fine with him getting these targets. He should be getting these, right? He's a maestro after the catch. He's really good at catch-to-tag transition. We've seen that on film. Problem is, what we can't do here when we get this ball is now he's got feet in the air. Like, we're ready to attack. It needs to be attack now. We see where he's at. We see where this defender is. Attack. Right, but what do we get? A little bit of hesitation and a gather step before we attack. When you don't have elite explosiveness, that's a tougher thing to do, and you're going to get results like this, where, okay, it wasn't there, and this has to be, I've planted on this left foot, and I'm attacking either outside or back to the middle of the field, depending on where this defender has moved. Now he's pretty square, but you're better off, if you're Smith-Njigba, to try and attack before gathering, because this is the stuff we got to have bigger plays on. Last one here. I know he can win these types of plays. We've seen him win these types of plays. Just prove that you can move the defender who's inside leveraged a little bit and don't let him squat. Like, I get it. We did the foot fire thing. It wasn't enough. I would like to see a more violent cut here. And then we got to, he does a good job, I think, fighting through contact. But again, we're clearing out space for DK on this one. This was pretty much always going to go to DK, which is fine. But I want to win more slant routes like that, and I think he will be able to do that. So I think there's plenty of positives for JSN, right? I think the situation offensively has dictated a little bit with how they're rolling out personnel and really how little targets JSN's getting down the field, because they love their two guys who can win deep. They both have proven that they can do that time and time again. They're going to take the shots with them. They're going to have tight ends on the field to help out either in the run game, chip, on play action, chip on straight dropbacks. So it's, limiting JSN a little bit because their tackles are out. And we obviously know Seattle likes to run the ball, so that's part of the equation too. But I think with JSN, you see him doing all of the right things. It's just now building consistency on that. And once Seattle's full go with their tackles and everything's rolling, I expect them to be an 11 more. I expect them to be able to trust that they can attack the middle of the field more. JSN's going to, I think, up his game in all three phases, which we know he can do. So stay patient with JSN. I promise it's coming. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Throw a like down there. Subscribe if you're new. Plenty more content coming soon. I will catch you guys in the next video. Farewell.